Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 7, entitled as Jnana Vijnana Yoga, Sloka 15. Namam duṣkṛtino mūḍhāḥ prapadyante narādhamāḥ māyayāpahṛta-jñānā āsuraṁ bhāvam āśritāḥ. Therefore, this category of people are called māyayāpahṛta-jñānā. This category of person certainly has much more greater understanding of God than the previous one. So the first person we saw does not have understanding. The second person we saw has some understanding. And the third person has much more understanding than the previous one. But what happens is that due to the influence of some other philosophy, which may not be authentic, he gets lost or he buys into that philosophy or ideas. Someone may come and say, what is all this sentimental thing? You are living in a very advanced country, America, well educated, you have a great job, well respected in society, you have good knowledge. How come you get sentimental into chanting the name of God, dancing in front of God? How can you even restrict God with some name and chant His name like Hare Krishna, Sītāraṁ, Narāyana, Vāsudevāya? What is all this? Why you people chant? Why you have to chant the name of the God? How can you constrain God into a particular form when God is everywhere? How can you worship Him as a male or even female? He can't be either because He is God. And all these itihasas and puranas, the stories, the Vedas and the avatars, and this is all not real. How can God lose His wife and cry for her? How can God steal butter and tell lies? How can God have so many wives? How can God die by an arrow? How can God be partial? And many more questions, such questions, to influence people who are already in the right path. But unfortunately, when these people's faith is not stronger, they get convinced with these negative ideas. Therefore, these people are considered much more sinful than the previous two categories. By hearing the talk against God, by getting misguided by the great scientists and philosophers, Sunyavada, Charvaka, Lokayaka, Mayavada. There are many different schools of thought are there. And this person get caught into one of these and commit mistakes, commit sin. His intelligence is lost or stolen by someone else. māyayāpahṛta-jñānā. It is important to note in this category that these people may also read scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, but they read Gita, which is unauthorized, an unauthorized interpretation, because it may not fall into the approved parampara system. Someone has written Bhagavad Gita out of their own intellectual knowledge that they have, and they put their ideas into Bhagavad Gita, saying this is what Krishna says and this is what Arjuna means, etc. And this person get completely convinced that Krishna is not real, Arjuna is not real, and so forth. So this is the category, the third category, māyayāpahṛta-jñānā. Let's see the last one. Āsuraṁ bhāvam āśritāḥ. That is, those who are envious towards God. That means you can only be envious to God when you know God exists. And you can only be envious towards God when you know that God is greater than you. Otherwise, there is no question of being envious of anyone. Someone has to be greater than us, so we feel envious about that person. So that is called āsuraṁ bhāvam āśritāḥ. This category of person knows very well, unlike the previous category, the first one who does not know God, the second one who understands existence of God, the third one who knows much more than the other two about God, but who has lost into some other philosophy. Here, this person, the fourth category, he knows the greatness of God. In fact, his knowledge about God grows. But the problem is, his hatred nature towards God also grows equally. So his knowledge also grows equally. In parallel, his hatred toward God also grows. Why? Because being envious. So he blasphemes God continuously. And of course, it's obvious because of this, the fourth class, this class is much more severe sinner than the other three. He hates the Lord. He hates Lord in any form. We learn the examples of Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Shishupal, and so forth. Even they go to the extreme saying, even if I get cut into 2 pieces, my body will not fall at the feet of Vishnu. That's an extreme hatred that they have towards God. So obviously, this category, class of people also will not take refuge in Krishna. So to summarize, mūḍhāḥ, those who did not study the Vedas and other scriptures, those who do not have any idea of God. For them, body is all in all. For them, the objects are for their enjoyment. mūḍhāḥ. Therefore, they do not surrender to God because they don't even have understanding that there is something superior to them. Second, narādhamāḥ. Those who have no clear knowledge, despite their study of scriptures. They may be studying scriptures, but they don't have a clear understanding about God. Those are called narādhamāḥ. Number 3, māyayāpahṛta-jñānā. Though possessing the knowledge, these people harm themselves by accepting and following the wrong ideas that's against God. And the fourth class, āsuraṁ bhāvam āśritāḥ. Persons who, through their enmity and hatred nature towards God, they harm themselves and they harm others as well. So these are the four classes of people. Krishna says they will not surrender. And the reason they are like this is because of their degree of karma that they have done. Namam duṣkṛtino mūḍhāḥ prapadyante narādhamāḥ māyayāpahṛta-jñānā āsuraṁ bhāvam āśritāḥ. Namaste. Hare Krishna.